Solo Leveling is on a generational run, but not for the reason you might think it is. Solo Leveling just dropped its first episode for season 2 and it's already doing massive numbers.
And you know what else is massive?
Of course, everybody loves Sung Jin Woo and how he's such a badass and how the animation is so good and the fights and the action, but some people overlook crucial elements that add on to the importance and the quality of this episode. The episode starts with Jinwoo getting ready for his parent-teacher conference, whatever thingy. He basically needs to meet with his sister's teacher in order to keep up with her studies because he's her only relative left that's conscious, you know. Already when he pulls up, you see how much aura that boy has. Like, look at him, bro. Oh my god, he's so handsome. No diddy. And looking past the insane glazing from everyone, I find this moment pretty big considering that it's the start of the season and you can see the immense difference in his character. More nonchalant, more confident, and even his physical appearance changed immensely. That's how you know he went through a lot in season 1 to get to this point. So I find that it's a pretty cool way to showcase how far he's come. Comparing to the E-rank hunter that he was at the start of season 1, where most people wouldn't even pay attention to him, he's now gotten to a point that he becomes the center of attention in any room he walks into. I mean, look at him, bro. He's just so cool, man.
Oh my god, bro, is dick riding all you do?
While meeting the teacher, Jinwoo gets asked to help out convincing this E-rank hunter who's a student that happens to be his sister's friend. Seeing a bit of his own self in an originally weak E-rank hunter, barely escaping the jaws of death, he fears that this student might get into those same dangerous situations and potentially die because he knows better than anybody else what it's like to be a E-rank hunter in those dungeons. However, knowing that she wouldn't accept to quit so easily, he employs a different tactic. He pretends to take her under his wing to make her a good hunter. Really, he wants to overwhelm her with his powers and the dangers of a dungeon to potentially scare her off from the job. Now you might be saying, wow, Vanguard, why are you talking about this subplot that's so minimally interesting? Well, we'll get there. But first, he hatches a plan to scare off Song-yi, aka the student girl that's an E-rank. What he does is contact that one white collar dude who's a manager kinda at the White Tiger Guild, one of the 5 biggest guilds in Korea with a S rank, Baek Yong-ho. This is a great callback to previous events because he takes advantage to the fact that the White Tiger Guild has already shown interest in recruiting him to their guild so badly. So essentially, Jinwoo is going to take Song-yi, the girl that he wants to scare off, into multiple gates and dungeons while also accomplishing his own objective. So he kind of forms a web of connections, taking advantage of everything he's previously done and multiple subplots, which I think is a great thing because this is a smart way to make multiple callbacks to previous events and link them to the present story, which helps the story stick more and be more cohesive in a way. Contrary to those series that basically have set arcs that start with an enemy introduced in that arc, they have the subplot for that arc, beat the character, and then move on to the next, and then rinse and repeat. This way of constructing the narrative gives a bigger sense of continuity, which rewards the viewer for having watched whatever happened before, and basically just makes the experience better overall. That's my opinion. Now we've talked about how great of a job the series does to make callbacks to previous events, but also we see a lot of foreshadowing of later events in the series. A good example of this is the presence of Hwang Dong-soo coming back to Korea to avenge the murder of his brother, the reptile hunter that tried to kill Jinwoo but ended up getting packed up earlier in the series back in season 1. So that's another callback and another subplot that keeps developing because we also know that later on Hwang Dong-soo is going to confront Jinwoo, just not now. Lastly, we see Go Gun-hee, the chairman, discuss with Choi Jong-in, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, the leader of the Hunters Guild and also one of the strongest S ranks in Korea. They're talking about Jeju Island and other details that I won't disclose now since I don't want to spoil you, but manhwa readers know this is a crazy foreshadowing to one of their best arcs in the entire series. Anyways, skip ahead a bit in the episode. Jinwoo enters along with the student hunter into a C-rank gate with the Tigers Guild. this turns out to be a red gate, which means that it was basically a false reading and the gate is actually much more difficult than the original reading, and also that when you enter, you're trapped, aka nobody can get in or out, you're not gonna get any help, and you cannot flee the dungeon unless you clear it. And the difficulty is obviously not a C rank anymore, but considering that the team that entered the gate was supposed to be C rank-ish level, they're supposedly kind of cooked, but they don't know they have the great Sun Jinwoo with them, so you'll see how that develops. The original squad leader though, Kim, is kind of a bum. He basically says, you guys are all cooked if you don't go with me, but some of y'all would only drag me down, so I'm gonna have to leave you guys, you know, to die. Not very captain of him, if you ask me. He's clearly never heard of the phrase, the captain always goes down with his ship. Actually, ironically, the people he left behind went with Sun Jinwoo instead, and they're actually doing pretty well, as you can see. Yeah, I'd also pick to go with Sun Jinwoo, let's be honest. Outside the red gate though, the guild master, S rank Bae Kyung-ho, these names bro, I swear to god, is scared for his guild members cause he thinks they're all gonna die, basically. And to add on all this chaos, we got the S rank Hwang Yong-soo searching for revenge that pulls up looking for Sun Jinwoo, who luckily is trapped in the red gate, so he can't even catch him, even as an S rank. It's just such an odd / interesting situation to be in. Of course, we can't talk about the greatness of solo leveling without mentioning these epic fights that happen, and the animation does not fail to illustrate the epicness. Like, peep this. But yeah, just wanted to leave on that note. That'll be it for this video. Only one episode out and it's already so peak. Anyways, subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers this year. Thank you very much, and or don't. But if you don't, like I said, I'm gonna gouge my eyes out.